Hello, hello. It is another week here on Earth. Um, I got a lot of stuff to do today while I'm parked here in a very peaceful place. Um, Real quick before I start my day, I guess my day has already started. I got up this morning and I went to the Sequoia Park and spent time in nature to appreciate the horn god. Then I parked over here, listened to some music, and drank some tea, and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do today. This past week, uh, a lot of the staff members have been out, have been sick or injured. You know, the usual. So it's only been one staff member this week, and then me and the other volunteer. And so I was like, all right, well, I really got to step it up this week and show them that I can do literally I can do their job. I know how to do their job. Their job is not really not that hard. I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody, but it's just, I guess this job comes naturally to me. I guess is the best way to put it. So I've been working the front desk all week, making coffee, getting the snacks out, kind of just keeping things in check, watching, making sure people aren't stealing more snacks than they're allowed to have, and, greeting people as they walk in and answering the phones and, keeping tabs on who's been in today. You're supposed to write down on a list who's been in for the day. And, just all that kind of stuff. And I've been doing that all week, Monday to Friday. So I think, it's great. I think everything's going great. My job is to just make life easier for both the staff and the people who come in to, get what it is that they need. And I think I've been doing a pretty good job at that from both sides, the staff and the walk-ins. So there's not really much else to say about that. I went to the beach yesterday. Oh no, you gotta go. There's a little gnat or something on my door. I went to the beach yesterday and I got a bunch of stuff, but I can't show you guys yet. I put all that stuff in the freezer. I'm gonna keep it in the freezer for like 3 to 5 days and then take it out and wash everything down with warm water. But I got some video clips of some of the stuff that I found. I was mainly looking for seashells. What I need things at my altar that represent the element of water. And the best place to get that is at the ocean. It's at the beach. You can find seashells and rocks, I guess. Driftwood. I didn't get any driftwood. I'm thinking about getting driftwood next time to do driftwood sculpture art and try selling that, but I'm still kind of looking into that. The things I got were like crab skulls, like the head shell of a crab. I got 2 of those because the design on the back is really cool. I find it really cool, really fascinating. And one of them still had his eyeballs attached to the skull, and I found that very interesting. And I'll show you guys all that next week when all of that is cleaned and ready for display. I found a baby crab head shell, which I'll put that in my mini altar. I thought that was really interesting. Something's eating these things up and leaving them out on the beach. I'm pretty sure it's the birds. I found a bunch of bird feathers too, by the way. I found some brown seagull feathers. And then I found like a really large, I couldn't tell if it was seagull or crow wing feather. I'll have to show you guys when they're clean. I found some seashells. I found a sand dollar. I found some rocks that I found interesting. I found 2 little seashells. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. And I found, what else? I found I think it's an oyster or a clam. I think it's a clam. And it was still put together. It was still alive. It smelled so bad. It smelled so bad. And it had like bugs in it. And I was kind of tempted to break it open and dig in it and see if I could find like a pearl or something. But it felt weird. Like this thing was still alive. And it just felt weird. I put it back on the ground. It felt weird to me. I didn't want to mess with it. I didn't really have the tools to mess with it either, though. So I just left it alone. But I do have a video clip of what that looked like. But yeah, so the stuff that I do have is in the freezer. And I'll take that out sometime before the next video and clean everything. And then show you what I got. All right, so everything that I want to do today is I want to make guacamole. I've never done this before. I own a mortar and pestle now. I originally bought this because I'm gonna make my own incense sticks and cones at some point. I'm not ready yet to do that exactly, but I remember that you can also use these to make guacamole. I was digging through all my food today and I realized that, this past week, the center did what's called Healthy Harvest. And what happens is they get fundings to buy a bunch of fruit and vegetables and sometimes meat. And then they separate it and display it on a bunch of tables, and then people can come in one at a time and pick out. They get like one of each, sometimes 2, and they can pick out what they want and take home. And then that's the way it's like they run their own little food bank once a month and help people out that way. And I helped with that too. I went with them to Costco to pick things out and carry things in and separate stuff. And then I was there to help give the stuff out because we had to sit there and watch people and make sure they're not taking more than they're allowed to. There's a lot of people with sticky fingers that go to this place. I have to watch the snack bowl and make sure people are only taking 2. Some people will take 2, go to the bathroom, put in their pocket, come back out, grab more, and act like that was there too. And I caught somebody doing that, and I was like, "Hey, I know, like I already saw you grab 2. It's in your pocket. I'm not stupid. Get your shit and get out." I didn't put it that. I can't say shit at work, but you know what I mean. For helping, they let us pick. They let us, the staff, the volunteer, everybody, to pick out what they wanted first and go put in your car and then come back. And then we opened up Healthy Harvest. So I forgot I got an avocado for free from work. And I was like, well, I just got this mortar and pestle. I think this is a 6-inch. This might be a 6-inch. So I might as well turn this into guacamole. I don't have much to work with. What I have is onion powder, garlic powder, lime juice, and this pepper spray. Cayenne is pepper spray. I've sniffed it before. I cried a little bit. It's pepper spray. We'll put that in the guac, and I'll try for the first time ever make my own guacamole. And then I got my hot glue out of storage. What I need to do is the top of my boot for the cab pass through is starting to come apart, and I'm just gonna try to hot glue that back into place because I don't like that it's open like that. I definitely need it closed before winter. And then what else? We'll talk a little bit about, I'm going to be making and selling candles soon. I'll talk about that a little bit here soon. And then for dinner, I wanted to experiment. I've been making spaghetti for a few weeks now, maybe a month. I don't know. I recently learned how to make spaghetti, and it's been really delicious and cheap, and I love it. But I feel like experimenting with it now. I got this potato gnocchi. My brother's made these before with like Alfredo chicken, and it was so good. And then we were talking a little bit about how, like, what if we did this with spaghetti instead of spaghetti noodles? Like, how would, because the texture of this is pretty interesting. It's really good. We talked about that weeks ago, me and my brother, and we never did it. And I'm still curious about it. So I'll be making it myself tonight for dinner. I'll make potato gnocchi spaghetti. And see how that turns out. And I did just buy some salsa. Just bought some salsa, so we'll have that with our guac for lunch. And if I'm still hungry, I think I'm gonna make a sandwich. I still have tons of ingredients to make sandwiches. So let's get into making some guacamole. All right, my microphone died right before I got to do the guac, and I didn't want to wait for it to charge, so I'm just gonna do an over voice over the video that I got while making guac. As you can see, I'm cutting up the avocado, putting it all into the mortar, scooping it all out. I think the one avocado is enough for this 6-inch bowl. If I wanted to do 2 avocados, I would need a much bigger bowl, like a 10-inch maybe. Right here, I'm just smashing it up into a nice creamy texture. I forgot I had red onions in the fridge, so I'm throwing red onions in there. I wish I diced them up a lot smaller, but it ended up working in the end anyways. And I'm smashing them in. I ended up pushing them towards the bottom so I could smash them into smaller pieces that way. But I think it would definitely been easier if I cut them up smaller beforehand. And then this is when I'm adding the ingredients. That was garlic powder. I'm adding some extra onion powder because I love onions. I'm adding some pepper spray. And then I'm adding some lime juice. Give it a little bit of a lime kick. And then I'm gonna smash all that together. Get it all mixed up. And at this point, I don't need the pestle. I could just use the spoon to stir it up. And I think in the future, I will switch to the spoon at this point, because all I'm doing now is turning the guac into a cream. And which is fine. It came out fine, but the more I use the pestle, the more creamy the texture comes out. Just keep that in mind if you guys ever decide to do this on your own. Okay, and then I decided that I wanted to add a little bit of salt to the guac, and in hindsight, that wasn't really a good idea. Like a pinch of salt would have been fine. The problem was, look how much salt that I'm putting. That's too much. It's too much salt. Not only that, but the tortilla chips that I eat it with are already salted. So it's just salt on salt on salt. I think in the future I'll definitely just put a pinch. Or I'm thinking it might not even need salt, since the tortilla chips are already salted. But this is why we try new things, so we can learn, gain new experiences, and acquire new knowledge. Here I'm testing it with the tortilla chips, and it really wasn't bad. It was a little extra salty than I wanted, but it wasn't unbearable. So I was actually happy with my results. This being the first time that I've ever done this. It was pretty good. I like it. Good. Okay, we're gonna pull out the GoPro for this part because I need my hands and I need to use my phone for a flashlight. We got the hot glue hot. It's already hot, it's already ready to go. We will grab an extra stick just in case, and we will try to fix this issue that we're having with the boot. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but up here it's fallen off, and I'm gonna do a simple fix for that and hopefully restore it. Let's get some glue in here and just start sticking it on there. Flashlight on. Let me see if I can get a better view. Oh shit. Almost yanked the hot glue out. See if I can try to. No, that doesn't really help, does it? Damn it. That doesn't really help me. Yeah, I feel like it was easier doing it from the inside. Let's get back inside. And I'll just sit on the toilet and try to figure this out. Yep, and we're already due for another piece of glue. Okay. So it feels like most of it is glued down. I'm gonna try to get in these little pieces that aren't. And stick this in that little pocket. It's feeling a little loose on this side. Let's get that glue in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is already feeling a little promising. My little hack job of a cab pass-through boot, but it's been holding up so far. Besides this top piece, I think this is just because of gravity. I've been having problems with this side. And also I think that when I drive, the air gets pushed in on the top and pushes down onto my boot, because in between the back and the front is this open space. And this is the reason why we have to install a boot, because without this boot, I could stick my head in the side and look right outside like that. So, oh, fuck, that's hot. Oh, I just burnt my wrist. God damn it. Okay, let's see. Does it feel? It feels loose right here. Oh, let me stick some glue in there. And then where else? It feels, because wherever I don't glue it now, I think the air from driving, I think the air is gonna push this back open in those little pockets where I didn't put enough glue. So we're just gonna, yeah. This side is fine. It was just all over here. I mean, I was having problems with installing this boot on that side from the beginning. I don't know why. I always thought just because of gravity, I didn't have the tools I needed to like hold this up while the stuff was drying on that side. And I can't see it. I installed this before I installed the boot, because when I first bought this truck, the first thing I did was cut this hole and then put this up so that I could start living in it immediately while I built out of it. I don't have those videos uploaded on this channel, but when I was doing another YouTube channel, you can see that whole process of when I moved in. I moved in and none of this stuff was here. None of this was here. It was all just a blank canvas. And you know, first thing you have to do when you buy these is rip out the middle seat, cut this hole in the cab pass through, and then you want to put up a curtain. If you don't, I mean, I didn't have time to do the boot the same day I cut this hole. I should have, but immediately you want this curtain so people don't know what you're doing. They don't know that you're moving in and building a house in this vehicle, because you don't want people to mark you as a victim, as a potential victim. Yeah, and then while I'm at it, let me just rub my hands through the side and see if any of it, it got a little loose down here, so we will glue that up. Okay. Oh yeah. It feels pretty normal everywhere else. The last thing I wanted to do was try to glue this little opening together, if possible. I was never able to seal this part, and then I just completely forgot about it. It never became a problem. But if I can seal it, I'll be happy to seal that up. And we're out of a stick already. There we go. Okay. I hope the camera's getting all this. I don't know what the camera's looking at. I have it strapped to my hat so I can just wear the camera on my head. How does that look? That looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. What is this? This is like hair or something. What the fuck is this? Ew. I need to vacuum this. I'm gonna vacuum this as soon as all this dries. I need to vacuum. Absolutely. Okay, let's stick all this glue. I wish I could put my hand under and push it up from the bottom. I can't do that. This is as good as it's gonna get, honestly. Okay, I'm just gonna go one more time and just double check that everything is nice and tight. That's fine. That's fine. How is this? Is this drying up? This feels... I feel like that's as good as it's gonna get. How's this? This feels loose right here. I don't like that. Okay. Hot fuck. This is good. Yeah, I think we're good. This feels tighter now. I think we're good. I'm gonna put a little... I'm gonna burn myself, but it's gonna be worth it. Ow. Ow. Put it over that corner right there. Yup. Put it over that corner. Fuck, that hurts. Okay, I'm burning my finger. I am actually burning off the fingerprints of my finger now. But I think we're done. I think that's all I needed to do. Yeah, there we go. I think that's all we needed to do. That was something that's been on my mind for a while now. I think I'm just gonna wait for it to dry, and then I'm going to check it again, and then I'm gonna vacuum all this crud. All right. Yeah, so we got the boot fixed up. I haven't vacuumed yet because I have to charge my vacuum. Welcome to 2025, where you have to charge your vacuum. I also went and got in the front and fixed the curtain on the top of the curtain. It was really loose, so I glued that back up there. I think I used super glue last time, some kind of weird glue. I think the hot glue will last better. I'm hoping that the hot glue lasts longer. There's not much left to do. Dinner is in an hour. We're gonna try to make that. I don't know what you call that, potato something. We'll make it into a spaghetti and we'll see how that is. And then after dinner, I plan on watching a movie. And then I'm probably going to start getting it. There's a tarot book I want to read and take notes on. And I'm going to get into that after the movie, if I have time, and do that before I go to bed. So I have time to talk to you guys about what's going on here. I do have my I think I already told you guys I do have my eBay store back up, just so I can make some more money. But also I want to get into selling spell candles. I have a particular idea about that. I don't want to give away my ideas away on YouTube for free, but I do have some interesting ideas for spell candles. If you guys don't know what candle spells, what in witchcraft is, it's just manifestation. There's nothing woohoo or sacred about it. It is a form. It is an art form for manifesting what you want or what you want to get rid of in life. You take a candle, right, and you pick a color. Each color represents a different type of spell. So if I wanted to work on attracting more money in my life, I'll grab a green candle, right? That's my baseline. I'm starting with a green candle. And then I need to heat it up, and I need to pick the herbs that represent prosperity and money and wealth. I can't remember what those are off the top of my head, but you take those herbs, you warm up the candle, and you rub them in the herbs. Make sure the herbs are chopped up as fine as you can get them, because if you have any long pieces of herbs, it'll catch on fire with the candles melting. Rub that in the herbs, right? What we can also do is carve a sigil. A sigil is a symbol that represents something. So you could carve a money sign in your candle, Another thing you could do is write out a spell. A spell is like a really short poem. Spells are like really, really short poems. And what you can do is you take your spell and then you cancel out any vowels and any other letters that are doubled. And what you're left with, you take those letters and you create a symbol with those letters, and you have a sigil made out of a spell. And then, or you can look up runes, ancient runes. I think I want to do runes. You can look up ancient runes that represent different things as well. Carve it into your candle, right? And then roll your herb, or push you with your thumb, push the herbs into that sigil so that the herbs is now shaped into that sigil, and then rub the rest of the candle. Not a lot. Don't completely cake it with herbs, but just enough that it's been covered in herbs. You can also do oils. There's certain essential oils made out of certain herbs that represent what you want to manifest. And then you can use an altar, like I've showed you guys in a previous video, or you can just create some kind of sacred space, or you can go out in nature and do this on a tree stump, whatever you want to do. And then you sit there and you say your spell. What you're doing when you're saying your spell is you're bringing out your intentions, your manifestations out in front of you, and you're telling the universe, this is what I want. This is what I really want. This is what I'm asking for. Please. Just like praying, how some people pray to their gods. Please, God or goddess, this is what I want in life. Please, I pray to you every day. Blah, blah, blah. This has nothing to do with deities. No god or goddesses. This is just a connection between you and the universe. You're manifesting what you want. You burn the candle, you can sit there and meditate, or you can just stare at the flame, and you want to think about what that's going to look like, what your manifestation is going to look like. So if I want money, we're going back onto the money candle. I'm going to imagine what that would look like. Like, man, what would having more money look like? I could get land. That would look really cool. I could start a little garden and create my own food, and that would take me out of buying more processed vegetables and fruits, because I can grow my own now, and I can share that with people, and I could be a stronger part of a community because I'll have food to offer for people, my friends and my family. Oh, and then I could spend some money here to donate to the people that need this stuff, and oh man, life would just, I would feel like I'm doing more with my life, and just visualize that, right? As the candle's burning. And then once the candle is completely burnt down, that is when the spell is done. And you clean up and you go about your day. And a spell could take a few months to take effect, but between when you did the spell and when the spell comes true, when the wish comes true, the manifestation comes true, you'll see signs. Maybe like a song on the radio will come up that reminds you of oh yeah, get that money, hey, cash rules everything around me, cream, get the dollar, get the money, dollar bills, y'all. And you'll be like, yeah, this is cool, man. Yeah, this is a sign that a manifestation is in the process of coming true. And there's signs in other ways. Like you can see numbers, 1111, 444, whatever. Or you find $1 on the ground. You get $1, okay, cool, man. It's a little piece of my wish coming true. Here's $1. Stuff like that. So candle magic is just manifestation. It's just an art form. Setting up the candle, preparing the candle, put on the candle, and then doing visualization work as the candle burns is the craft. It is the craft in witchcraft. Witchcraft is just art. It's an art form in the craft. So I have an idea for spell candles. I want to talk about it, but I don't want to give away any details. I don't want anybody to steal my idea. but I'm working on something. I already bought the tools I need to work on this, and um, the Hope Center gave me $20 for the dollar store for free for helping out. They said every month they're gonna give me free gift cards. Um, and I used that money to go buy candles from the dollar store, and I'm melting those down, and I'm gonna turn them into a different type of candle. And I'll be creating spell candles soon and selling those online. And when I do, I think I will. I was thinking Etsy, but I might just put them on eBay since I already have an eBay store. And I'll put up a QR code on the video when that comes out to my eBay store, so you guys can just use your phone to link to my eBay, and then you guys can hopefully buy some candles or whatever else I'm selling, and help support me in my journey that I'm on right now. But that's what's going on with that. I'm working on that now. I'm working on certain type of candles that I'm going to be selling. And then, like I said earlier, I got the mortar and I got the pestle. And I want to make incense cones and sticks at some point. I need to learn how to do that, the best methods for doing that, and the cheapest format to successfully execute that. I don't want to take a cheap route to make cheap incense and they don't really work or they smell terrible. I also don't want to spend a bunch of money just for it to cost me as much as the money is going to make back, and then I make no profit. Oh no, that's the next step. Right now we are working on candles. All right, time to cook dinner. The instructions say I need a pot. I can find my pot. Put a bunch of water in a pot. Bring it to a boil first. So we're gonna boil it. I like to put garlic salt instead of regular salt. In my boiled water. So I'm gonna let that boil and I'll be right back. All right, I am now putting half the bag. I'm saving the other half. This has 4 servings. I'm gonna eat 2 servings. Obviously, I'm a big guy, but I'm putting half the bag in here. And the directions say that I just need to cook them in here until they float to the top, which is not supposed. Oh shit! Which is not supposed to take a long time. I looked it up, and this meal that I'm making is called gnocchi and meatballs. Gnocchi, potato, gnocchi. I think it's called gnocchi. I don't know how you say it, but this is called gnocchi and meatballs. It's spaghetti, but use the potato gnocchi instead of the spaghetti noodles. I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna let that cook, wait for that to be done. We'll get the meat cooked next. We'll put the sauce on the meat, and then we'll mix the two, and we'll see what kind of contraption we created. So, you guys already know how everything else is made. I'll be back when I'm done cooking, and I'll give you guys a review before I leave y'all for the rest of the week. All right, here's my plates. It's actually pronounced gnocchi, potato gnocchi. This is gnocchi and meatballs. Same way I would make spaghetti, but I replaced the spaghetti noodles with the potato gnocchi. We're gonna try it for the very first time and see if this sucks or not. That's actually not bad. Let me take more bites. Let me figure this out. The texture of gnocchi is good. It's good. It's different than any other kind of pasta that I'm used to, but it's good. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, I definitely want to make this again in the near future. Yeah, I like that a lot. I still have another half a bag to cook. Maybe I'll make that for Tuesday dinner. I'll make this again. This is really good. The gnocchi cooks really fast. A lot faster than spaghetti noodles. You boil the water, you put it in, and then once they all rise to the top of the boiled water, you let them cook for an additional like 2 to 3 minutes, and then it's done. If you overcook them, they'll actually start to deteriorate into the water. So you can overcook them and ruin them. So you do have to be very present while cooking them. But they cook really fast. Once the water's boiled, you throw them in there. It takes like a minute or two to rise to the top. And then you cook them for another 2 to 3 minutes while they're rising. It takes like 5 to 6 minutes to cook them. It's really, really easy. And it tastes really good. I wish I had some cheese to put on this. I'm going to put some pepper. I put too much pepper. Oh my God. That's all right. I need to get a little salt and pepper shaker. Those are easier to manage how much you use. And I want to put a little bit of salt. There is no salt present. And I feel like gnocchi needs a little bit of salt. I got to be very careful because I did put a little bit too much salt on my guac. I'm going to pour it in my hand and sprinkle it on there. Okay. That should be good. We're going to mix this up now. See if that improved it at all or ruined it. Okay, that's good. I like this. I don't think that I would make this more often than spaghetti, but I do like this. I know that this gnocchi, potato gnocchi is from the dollar store. If I get some proper gnocchi from like the grocery store, some higher quality gnocchi, such a weird word to say, I think it could be even better. I think the way that my brother made it, he did potato gnocchi with chicken and Alfredo sauce, and that was really good. I think that is better than this, but this is like right behind it. It's pretty good. All right, well, my phone's running out of data. So I have to end this video because I cannot record anymore. I need to get this video edited, uploaded tomorrow. The center's closed the next 2 days, so I'm just gonna be chilling. I'm gonna try to get online and hang out with some friends, and then I got a ton of candle wax I need to melt down and separate. So I need to work on that. So I'm gonna finish this food and watch a movie and relax, get everything cleaned up, and get out of here. So with that being said, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're doing all right, taking care of your mental health, your spirit, your physical health, all that good stuff, you know. And I guess I will see you guys next week. So take care. Bye. And I love you.